Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Now, if you can hear me and see my slide, please type 1. Okay, great. Now, how many of you have actually invested in overseas property? Now, if you have invested in overseas property, do type the country that you have invested. Oh, China, UK. Oh, great. Now, I'm going to share some case study here. Okay, guys, now I want you to take a look at this property that my client have purchased. Now, because of PDPA, now I can't reveal my client's name. It is actually a 4-bedroom apartment, and it looks decent and nice, right? It is actually located in one of the prime areas. Now, he actually bought this unit at $160,000, and he managed to rent it out at $1,500 per month, and he has a positive cash flow of $600 as pocket money every month. Now, I want you to take a guess. For a property like this, how much do you think you need to down pay? Meaning, how many percent is the down payment? Take a guess. Type in the chat box. 30%? 20%? Okay, some put 10, 20, 25, 40. All right, and this guy got his property for free, and in fact, it is just zero money down because he got his property free, and this extra pocket money he got every month is from his rental, and from this rental, he's able to cover his monthly installment. Okay, now let me show you another property which belongs to another one of my clients. This is actually a 3-bedroom apartment. Okay, he actually bought this property for $130,000. And guess how much is his monthly rental income? It is $1,000. And every month, he actually have a positive cash flow of $380. And guess again how much he managed to down pay. What is his down payment? Yes, you're learning fast. It's actually zero money down. And Robert Kiyosaki, he always says, invest with no money down. And there are many property investors already doing it for many years. If today there is a property giving positive cash flow and zero down, how many of you want to learn to do that? Type me in the chat box. Great, I'm seeing quite a number of you want to learn that. Now, let me introduce myself. My name is Chen. Now, I'm not a property agent, nor am I here to sell property. Okay, I'm actually working for the top public listed company in Malaysia, specializing in property development for the past 15 years. And I have actually done multiple award-winning developments from commercial to residential and to even township developments. And the question is, why am I in the property industry? The reason is because my dad used to be rich businessman, but later he actually sold off his share and became poor. And he has lost the wealth that he has built. And one of the things that he did right was he actually bought a house 30 years ago at $72,000. And this house becomes his saving grace. And the day if he decided to retire and sell off the house and stay with me, he actually have the money to take care of himself. And because this house is now actually worth $750,000, and this is a 1,000% increase over 30 years. Yes, it is actually a 1,000% increase over 30 years. Amazing, right? Now, many people used to be rich, and now they are struggling financially. And guess what? I have actually learned about this, and actually it become a wake-up call to me. And I realized that, it's not about how much I earn today. It is about how much wealth that I can build in the long run. Because if I'm not building enough wealth, in the future, it will become an issue to me. And now, guess how many of you actually believe that if you don't invest, the money will actually find its way to actually disappear? Type A if you actually agree. Yes, you are right, and it will actually go into our expenses later. Because of that, I actually started investing in property. Now, I've actually got 3 kids. I'm actually the sole breadwinner taking care of my family and my parents. Now, imagine if today I'm not able to provide for them, what would be the outcome? And I'm actually glad that I have started investing in real estate many years back, as property are getting more and more expensive in my country. Now, let's look at the difference between a developing and a developed country. Now, let's take a look at Vietnam and Singapore. Okay? Now, this is just an example. Okay? Now, Vietnam, do you think Vietnam is developing or developed? Now, type 1 if you think it's developing, and type 2 if you think it is developed. Yes, obviously it's developing, right? Now, what about Singapore? Is it developing or developed? 1 or 2? Singapore. Okay, some type 2, some type 1 is okay. Now, where do you think most of the profit is made? Is it in a developing or developed country? 1 or 2? Okay, most of you actually type 1. Yes, you're correct. Now, did you know that investing in a developing country has its risks? Now, the pros are, it's high profit potential, but it also comes with high risk and government stability. And one of my friends is actually doing property development in Vietnam. And recently, there are many crackdowns on corruptions, especially on property developers. Therefore, many property developments were actually affected. Now, those who are actually, have, gone in with their money, actually they got stuck. So question is, are you willing to take the high risk? Now, let's look at Singapore. Is Singapore a fully developed country? Yes? Yes, and now, when you buy, now the thing is this, Singapore now, the property market, is it already high or is it low? It is already high, right? And if you go in at high and if you are selling it off, will your margin be a lot or very slim? Well, yes, your profit is going to be slim, but guess what? It is also a safer investment. Now, so guys, which one will you choose to invest if given a choice? Developing or developed? 1 or 2? Well, 2, 1. Okay, some 1, some 2. All right. Now, anyone actually even chooses both? The question is there a place like that? Okay. Now, so where is the best place to invest? The best place to invest is when you have the best of both worlds. Develop, and at the same time, you still have places developing. I call this the developing countries. In short, it's called DD countries. Now, when you merge both of them together, it becomes DD properties. And this actually gives you high profit margin potential. And this kind of properties is not easy to find. So where can you find these type of properties? Okay, well, it's in Malaysia. Okay, now because it is actually a developed country, and that is still developing, all right? And since I'm from Malaysia, I'm going to share on the country that I'm most familiar with. Now, based on this map that you're seeing, where do you think is the richest part of Malaysia? Well, yes, KL, Kuala Lumpur, right? The question is, why KL? Now, although KL is developed, did you know that there are still areas in KL that is still developing? Now, let me give you an example of Singapore so that you could understand. Now, Punggol and Sengkang, 10 years ago, it was developing. But now, it is developed. The housing there last time was affordable. If you buy BTO, build then own, now, in these places today, it is very expensive. So when you sell now, your margin is lesser. And if you buy a DD property, it is like buying in Punggol and Sengkang 10 years ago, when it is developing in a developed country, and thus giving you the highest margin. So got it? Great. Let's come back to Malaysia. Question, why Malaysia? Now, recently, CapitaLand planned to expand their branded hotels in Malaysia. The question is, why? Ayala Land is actually a top Philippines developer, expanded to KL and has acquired stakes in Malaysia property firm. The question is, why? Now, China is going to invest 50 billion in Malaysia. So the question, what opportunities do you think these foreign companies or foreign countries sees by investing in Malaysia? Now, many people have many things to say about Malaysia. There are some good, some bad. But what does all these top companies see that they want to invest here? Surely there must be a reason. Now, remember the DD property that I mentioned just now? And there are still areas that are developing in a developed city like Kuala Lumpur. Now, the two properties that I shared earlier, it is actually a DD properties. Now, how many of you want to actually know how to get the property with zero money down? Type in the chat box. Type zero money down. Great. Now, I'm going to give you an example of how it is actually being done. Now, for the local, you would need to actually pay a 10% down payment and get a 90% loan. Now, for you to get a zero down, you will actually need a credit note. All right, you just need a credit note. And for Singaporean, what you need is basically you need to purchase a property that is $300,000, which is equivalent to 1 million ringgit, because that is actually the foreign threshold. Okay, and for Singaporean, you need to do a 20% down payment and get an 80% loan. And guess what? To get a zero money down, all you need is credit note. All right? And now, do you want to know more secret? If you want to know more secret, do type in the chat box, secret. Type the word secret in the chat box. Because there are actually developers doing this kind of credit note. Great. I can see a number of you want to know the secret. Okay. Did you know that as a foreigner, not only you can purchase a Malaysian property with zero money down, you can also buy below the 300,000 foreign threshold. And at the same time, you still have positive cash flow, giving you extra pocket money every single month. Now, the question is, how? Anyone can make a guess? And this is something that Malaysia can do that Singapore cannot. And it is legal. Okay? Anyone can guess how do we do it? Well, Basically, the answer is Airbnb. Now, how many of you are interested to know how this can generate positive cash flow? Type me in the chat box. Okay, great. All right, now, I would love to share more, okay, and I'm actually giving a free lesson on how to invest in Malaysia property like the locals. And you get to learn 3 things. First, own with 0 down. 2, buy below 300,000 foreign threshold. And number 3, learn how to get positive cash flow so that you have extra pocket money every single month. And all you need to do is to join my Telegram and to sign up for a free lesson later on. And so, do scan the QR code. Thank you so much and have a nice day.